Lessons that I learned in 2025. Another thing is getting organized is the beginning of being successful. Found favor in the eyes of men and in the eyes of God. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Grace Chimezie. Some people know me as Grace Chi Alex. Others know me as Grace Alex. Whatever you know me as is fine. Welcome to another year of sitting down and chatting with me about lessons that I've learned in the year and what I'm looking forward to in 2026. My YouTube is known as Life as I See It, and on this page, I talk about fashion, lifestyle, and everything in between. YouTube recently sent me a summary or year in review, and it struck me that I've been on YouTube since 2010. And every year, I make these intentions of being serious or taking the platform seriously. And every year I inch closer to that goal. And so in the new year, the same plan exists. I plan to be consistent with my YouTube page. With that said, today we are going to be talking about lessons that I learned in 2025 and something I'm just thinking about or what is sitting with me for the new year. I've written down some notes because I do not want to forget. And the first is life is unpredictable, and that is what makes it worth living. Where do I start from? 2025 was a very unpredictable year, not just professionally, but also generally. In 2024, I had paused my footwear business, and this year was the year where I had planned to begin or relaunch the brand. And that was one thing that I had on my vision board this year. It was also the year that I planned to travel, but it was also the year where a lot of changes had happened within my sector. So we had a new administration in the US. There was a lot of funding and budget cut, and it just made a lot of the work that we did unpredictable. And something that has sat with me throughout this experience and being lucky to still have a job is how unpredictable life can be. One moment we have all of this certainty in plans based on budgeting and what we have currently in our portfolio, and then another minute all of those is taken away. And because we do not go to soothsayers, we don't know what the future is. That unpredictability is what makes life, or it's what makes life worth living, in the sense that you are able to restart or pursue dreams that if life had gone as planned, you might not have been able to pursue, or see yourself contributing to a broader sense of what the world should be. And so that's one of the lessons that I took from this year. The second was when you have a dream that aligns with the plans for your life, everything falls in place. And I say this for three reasons. The first being that I really wanted to travel this year. And one of the things that I've learned about myself is, especially when it comes to prayer, is asking for favor. A lot of people get to positions of power or get to positions of privilege or get access to things not because of the work that they've put in, but just because of favor. And I think it's one thing people should consistently ask for. You have to pray for favor. If you have to speak about favor, you have to just always ask for your name to be spoken at in places that you've not sat at. And I think a lot of where I've gotten to has always been because I found favor in the eyes of men and in the eyes of God. And so I do not take that for granted. That's one second lesson I've learned this year. Having a dream or having a goal that aligns with the plan of God for your life. And once those two things meet at the same place, everything starts to fall in place. For example, I wanted to travel this year, and an opportunity came in for my job, and I was able to go to Ghana, and I was able to travel to Nigeria. Um, I did want to travel. I had plans to travel to more countries, but I feel like being able to travel to Ghana, which was something that has been on my to-do list, was impactful not only for my career but inspiring in terms of what I think leadership should be. Uh, Another thing is getting organized is the beginning of being successful. I have always been someone who did things on the cuff. I barely wrote plans down. I did write plans down, but I am not someone who follows or does things by the book to a T. And so seeing myself put things down on paper, scrub them off, or having a to-do list has helped me get my life to be a better to a better place. And it's some simple life examples for me is I've been able able to organize like the products that we're selling on GAFA, and having those products organized, having the quantity available, having a description for them has just made it very easy for me to be like, okay, that's done. And all I need to do is just pull out this documentation and this listing whenever I need it, whenever I need to put this in, for example, a brief or a photo or campaign that I'm working at. I know what products I'm working with. In the past, I just relied on using the colors or like a folder that I had created, and it never had a form of organization to it. And organization just it helps you know that you're doing the work that you need to do, and if anything is out of place, you know that you did your best. Other lesson I learned this year was being deliberate about relationships. I'm one of those people who have been deliberate about relationships. That means I'm courteous. I respond when people reach out to me, but I don't think I've sustained relationships. So just regular checking, asking if people want to go for coffee chats. I didn't do much of that this year, but I did, in a sense, after reflecting, understood the importance of it. Sometimes it's not like people are going to respond, but knowing that you're putting yourself out there for either rejection or a form of feedback, or like just knowing that you're doing your best to make sure that you're reaching out to the people you need to reach out to, that you are deliberate about friendships and not in a way waiting for either a milestone or something tragic to happen before you connect with people you need to connect with. You're living life with less guilt of what you should do. I think as much as we make deliberate efforts to have coffee chats or go on dates, that we have that same deliberateness in connecting or sustaining the relationships that we have. And I learned this also from my own personal experience. I felt jilted by someone who connected with me after almost a year, and only to realize that they were connecting with me because they had a bigger milestone coming and they wanted me to contribute financially towards that event. And for me, I just felt like, hey, I mean, I'm here all year and you could say hi and connect and just talk about other things. And it I didn't you didn't need to only connect with me when you felt like this important thing, which I know we're all busy. That's the excuse. But I think sustaining relationships helps, also makes it just easier that when you are celebrating a milestone that people are rallying around you. Striving for excellence. One example that I can use to expand on this is I used to be very good at public speaking, or I will reference myself hosting events at my college during my undergraduate years. And I used to be very good at it. I hosted a lot of events. And when I moved to the United States, due to the stress of funding my way through graduate school, the stress of work, of school, and not being able to find a job, a lot of inferiority complex and everything. I found myself in public settings or during presentations just speaking very, very fast. And I really wanted that to change this year. And so, in the strive for excellence, I consistently asked people to give me feedback after presentations, from my pace to my enunciations to how I looked people in the eye when I presented, to how my body language spoke of being confident about what I was sharing, and also what kind of words that I was adopting to express myself. And I've learned that the need and the urge to be excellent, to make sure that I'm being the best that I can be, especially in speech and conduct, has really improved my confidence and also made me realize that I can say and I can do, and I can reach out to people. And when I speak in public spaces, people listen and learn because I'm not rushing through my words. I'm taking my time. Again, that goes back to organization to learn. And also, when I speak, I am speaking because I know what I'm saying, and I could take pauses, not use filler words, and engage when I'm speaking publicly. I think the last one is less print and investing in good clothing. I can't emphasize this enough. I'm a fashion girl, and so this is a no brainer. I have a couple of blog posts that I've put up this year about dressing well and presenting in public spaces. And so most of my money went into investing in a new wardrobe. I love that I look at my wardrobe and know what to wear when I need to head out for an event. My wardrobe does not have a lot of handbags, which I'm not complaining about. I think my bags are functional. I think that's maybe something I would want to invest in the new year. But yeah, those are some of the lessons. I believe they're like about 6 or 7. But let me know what lessons you learned this year. For 2026, I'm actually looking forward to putting myself out there. I do think that there's a lot of cautiousness as to how I've presented publicly, and I want to be able to let go of the restrictions and the extreme ways that I've taught to present myself publicly. I do think that there's benefit to that in some cases where you're able to protect yourself, people approach you respectfully. However, we are now living in a world where you really need to know how to communicate, not just in a calm or professional manner, but reaching out to an audience that, for example, I run a leather goods brand and I want my audience to be able to purchase those products, and I want to be able to share to my customers or to my audience how I'm styling these products, where I'm styling them to, and putting myself out there to make myself or the brand prosper. And I think that that's a good thing. I don't have to go to the extreme ends, but I have to make more deliberate efforts to put myself out there. Something I'm also looking forward to in this coming year is to get back to being studious. I feel like this year was a year where I took a step back. I relaxed a bit. I'm also hoping that in this new year that I come into a full sense of maturity. I feel like I'm there, but I'm getting there, but I'm not fully there. And so in this new year, I want to make sure that I do things in ways that shows that I'm no longer a child, that I've grown, and that I'm able to do things that are impactful, not only connecting with my peers or traveling, but also, especially for GAFA, showing a brand that has come to maturity. It's been 10 years and it's almost getting to the brand is almost getting to its teenage years. So I want to be able to present something to the public that I'm proud of. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. I look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Bye.